I love martial arts movies, horror films, and action type genres. And I think I just hate being bored. You know, I'm like a shark, man. If I'm not moving, I'm sleeping. As it gets harder to kind of get, I need some kind of war to fight, and not as in a war like I need to hit somebody or get hit, as much as just I need something to motivate me to kind of keep moving. Otherwise, I kind of just become a caricature of myself in a lot of ways and just get bored. So that's pretty much it. Well, my first name is Claire, Brandon Mark Vivian, and you know, growing up in the 70s and the 80s, and being a skinny kid named Claire doesn't exactly go over well sometimes when you're a young man. I mean, now I love it because it's unforgettable. A guy this macho being named Claire Vivian, 2 female names, but I kind of always had to back it up. And Johnny Cash, another one of my inspirations, shall we say, as well as Elvis, but Johnny Cash has a song called "A Boy Named Sue," which is kind of my theme song, shall we say, about a boy that's kind of made to become tough because he has to live up to his name Sue, and he can't get picked on anymore. Boy named Claire. Started working at bars when I was about 18, 19, putting myself through college in New Orleans. Back then it was like the Wild West. And it's always one of those things where I could work 2 or 3 nights a week and doing that, or however many I was working at the time. And I could do that at night while I was working on films during the day, or training for fights on occasion, you know. And it's just kind of always, it's a very flexible schedule, a flexible world, but you just gotta kind of not get wrapped up in it because it gets easy to not get up during the day. I kind of just live on cash, and then at the end of the day, you know, I was making $500 a night in New York, tax-free cash, you know, which is kind of nice. And plus, after you take a fight and make several $1,000s or however much you make for that particular fight or do a film job, it adds up pretty quickly. But at the end of the day, you know, you have 20 years down the line, I have nothing to show for that particular line of work, but I still enjoy it on occasion. I just don't want to be involved in management or owning a bar anymore in any way, shape, or form. It's just, it becomes your entire life. I mean, you're there 8 days a week, you know, 29 hours a day. You can never escape from it. And it gets a little overwhelming, and at the end of the day, you kind of forgot why you went to that city, such as New York or New Orleans or whatever, in the first place, because you just get so tired from doing it. You get wrapped up paying bills and doing this and this and this, and you forget what you loved that made you creative in the first place. I'm pretty much walking roadkill, I like to say. Both shoulders dislocated, 6 broken noses, eyelid reattached, cranium. I've had probably well into 100 concussions, various contusions, broken bones. Pretty much every finger on my hand has been broken, my knuckles. I have rheumatoid arthritis and neuropathy, which is nerve damage in my hands. I mean, the human hand's not meant to hit things for 20 years. And no matter, anybody can tell you I can break a brick, but at the same time, I can be turning a bottle cap off and almost wince in pain on occasion. So, you know, it adds up. If I didn't have this, the moneymaker, I'd have nothing going for me. So I got nothing, pretty much. I've been diabetic for about 35 years. So I've had that since I was about 8 years old, 9 years old. And that was harder to hide from the fight boards and fight commissions because there's never been a diabetic fighter. It's unheard of. And you can't be a diabetic cop, you can't be a diabetic fireman, you can't be a diabetic military man. They're very paranoid. It's not like something such as football. There's been a few diabetic players, but they play in short doses. They can check their blood sugar before. During a fight, I can't stop between rounds and say I need a blood test. And it's very hard to decipher whether someone is feeling punchy, as in they've just got the crap kicked out of them, or whether they're having a diabetic reaction and going into diabetic mellitus, which means that the sugar is getting low. You go with shakes, convulsions. It's the worst feeling ever. Maybe that's why I am a fighter in a way, because I hate feeling helpless. I was in the hospital for about quite a few months and had a severe injury. I died. I flatlined. I had my leg almost completely cut off. I'm in medical reference journals for that particular injury. And I remember laying there that whole time, and I was comatose for I died. I actually flatlined and resuscitated me. I'm in medical reference journals for all this. But I remember laying there not being able to move, and I wouldn't do the painkillers at the morphine. It was extremely painful, but it still is. The blood pumps into my leg, but it can't get back up, so it expands. So I think if I stop moving, I start feeling that, and I hate being helpless. So that's my greatest, fear. I guess you say if there's one fear I've got, it's, being an invalid and not being able to defend myself or take care of myself. So I've kind of always, maybe that has a lot more to do with my desire to overcome pain than most people understand. What people don't really understand about being a fighter, and people ask me, how could you have fought for money for so long? How could you have done that and this? And what joy could I get out of it? And I really, the way that I tell them, I'll try to explain it because I can't rationalize it. The object is to knock your opponent unconscious. And if you play football, if you play soccer, if you play hockey, you're going to have bad knees, you're going to have a bad back. If you box, you're going to have brain damage. It's just, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You're repetitively getting hit in the head, and it's not good on the hands as well. But you start realizing these things, and it's kind of what people don't really understand about it, and nobody that has never not been in the ring and fought and overcome it is it's not about giving pain. And I think people don't understand that any bully can punch somebody and knock them out. I don't enjoy hitting people so much as it's a real fighter or a warrior is more about overcoming pain. And all the fights I had where I just go in the ring, and I was pretty good at what I did. I was extremely good at what I did. And knocking people out, which I was pretty good at doing quickly. I don't like to do long fights. I never like to sit there for 4 or 5 rounds, whatever, and have to get into it. The quicker you knock an opponent out, the quicker you get out, and you can leave the ring and you're fulfilled, shall we say. But it's not about giving pain, it's about overcoming pain. And that's what a warrior is. It's not someone who enjoys inflicting pain on someone that can't defend themselves. It's about getting in the ring and a guy trying to take your life away in a way. And he punches you in the face and you punch him back. And it's very humbling when you hit a guy that's knocked everyone else out and it does nothing to this guy. And you're bleeding like a fountain, you're tasting your own blood, and you overcome that pain. And I think that's what people really, you have to be in a ring and go to war to really understand about what being a fighter is. you always got to live up to something. I've been doing this for so long. I'm not an intimidating looking guy. I'm 170 pounds, 6 feet. Running bars as well, which I've always done in between fights and in between everything else for probably 20 years, as I'm doing here in Sanford at the time. It's just, you gotta have a target on your chest. You become, like I said earlier, kind of a caricature of yourself and a comic book character. And so there's always somebody that's gonna try you. There's always somebody that's gonna try and just kind of get over and see how much they can get away with. But it's can make you very humble, but it can make you very pissed off on occasion too. So it's just kind of a matching between the two. At the end of the day, I don't regret anything I've done, but it's still, you have to pay the consequences. Nobody wins a fight. All the fights I won 20 years ago, I'm paying for now. I used to joke about my memory. I'm getting a little punchy, joking around about it. I've got selective memory, but I'm starting to really notice since my last few, since I haven't fought in a while, and I have no plans to ever get back in the ring, that I'm just the rapid fire of my short-term memories is not what it used to be. I can remember things from 15 years ago, 20 years ago, redundant film facts, just stuff, stuff about a comic book that I read when I was 10, but I have problems just deciphering day to day. It just kind of blends together in a way. But, it could always be worse. It could always be better, but it could always be worse.